I'm Kortney Wilson, and this is The Shit Stick of Life, a podcast for when life hits hard, plans fail, and you need a little resilience, reinvention, and hope to keep going. Let's get into it. Okay, wow. I want to start by saying my guest today was a podcast we were going to shoot, and then we weren't quite sure it was going to air because this person was a little bit reluctant. He's never done a podcast before. You have requested him several times. He is the most asked about person every time I open up my socials to questions. Guys, today I'm having my husband, Ryan Vella, on the podcast. Now, he's come and gone, and you're about to hear it, but I just want to say I'm really proud of him. He is a very quiet, private person, and he doesn't kind of let people see this side of him. He doesn't really talk about our life all that much out in public, out of respect for me. And then out of respect for himself and the privacy that he's kept. But yes, the questions that you have, everything from what does he do? How did we meet? When did he fall in love? And even deeper than that. Coming up next, here's my conversation with my husband, Ryan. Hey, Rye.
Hey, Court.
I never saw this day coming.
Me neither.
No, I know. And for a lot of reasons, which we'll get into. So, everyone, this is my husband, Ryan. My cute and adorable and awesome, sweet husband, Ryan.
Well, thank you.
Ryan, have you been coerced in any way to be on this podcast?
Maybe a little. No, I haven't.
You wanted to do this?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Why did you want to do it? Just out of curiosity?
It'd be fun to put myself out there a little, break some barriers.
Yeah.
Not going to lie, I'm a little nervous.
Yeah. What is really in your coffee cup right now?
That might be a Coors Light.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere. It is the afternoon. Ryan was like, babe, is it okay if I have a drink to just loosen me up? And even though I'm not, condoning people drinking to loosen up, I said, fine.
Thanks, babe.
Well, plus you're your own person, so you can make those decisions. So, okay, I am really appreciative, first of all. And one of the reasons that we work is because we're really different people. And I lead a much more public life than you ever have. And I kind of love that you're so private. So stepping into this podcast, answering questions, I want to first say that you don't have to answer anybody's question. So the fans, the people that follow, the friends, certainly have some, and I'm going to start with that.
Okay.
But
I'm game.
Yeah, and for those of you who don't know, people that actually follow me on social media will know this, that you're pretty quiet.
For the most part.
Yeah, so we've even said that this podcast might not even see the light of day.
Well, let's see.
Yeah, so if people are listening to it, it did see the light.
Yeah, for sure.
The first few questions I'm going to list all at once because I feel like they could be covered by telling some stories. So, did you know that she was on TV when you met her? What were your thoughts when she lied about her name? Were you where in Canada did you live? Was it love at first sight for you? What was your reaction the first time you saw Kortney? So all these things I feel like we could, be told through the story.
Basically how we met, yeah.
So first of all, where are you from?
So I'm originally from Nobleton, Ontario, Canada. Yeah. Small town. It was when I was growing up, it was 4,000 people there.
Yep.
Then I made my way over to Newmarket, over to Blue Mountain is where we met.
Yeah.
So Blue Mountain's a small little ski village.
Just about 2 hours outside of...
2 hours outside of Toronto-ish. And that's when we met.
Well, we didn't meet...
I was living there.
There. Because I was living in Toronto. Would you consider it Toronto?
That's right, yeah.
And it was COVID, 2021.
Right in the thick of it.
Yeah. I had been divorced about
2 years?
A year and a half. And had gone there and had taken Lennox, my youngest, because she was going to do school from Toronto virtually. After our quarantine, she was going to go spend a week with family. And a lot of my girlfriends were like, you need to go on a date because I haven't been on a date. AKA, you need to go have some fun. AKA, AKA all the things that I'm not going to say right now. You were an expert at the dating stuff,
Maybe a
weren't
little
you?
bit, yeah. I had been doing it for a while.
Okay, so what landed you where? Meaning like which dating platforms?
I had bounced around from Tinder,
Yeah.
POF. I have
What's
to admit,
POF?
that was like the bottom of the barrel for dating sites.
Okay.
But I dabbled with some POF. Yeah,
I
it
don't
was,
even know what that is.
well, it's plenty of
List me.
fish, plenty of
Plenty of
fish.
fish. Okay, got
Yeah, yeah. In the dating world, POF, everybody knows.
it. Okay, got it. I had never been on a date
Yeah,
before you,
so
basically.
and ended up on. I did some eHarmony, which was a real nice, great site to be
Yeah.
on, and then Match is where we met. And I had been off online dating for a couple of months,
Yeah.
and then I jumped on Match, and the first night, boom, we matched.
So I went on Match because I was without Lennox for that week and used a different name. So I created a profile. I even paid the extra money for like privacy and things, I don't know, extra things that you get. I went on Match.com under the name Amanda with my picture, but not like a very glamorous picture.
Nose, I think you were in a sweater,
Yeah, a sweater with
basically.
the holding
It
the
looked
dogs, maybe.
posed. I almost thought it was fake, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah, you were sitting by like some bookshelves, I think, and it
Yeah,
just looked staged almost.
that was in my house, babe.
Yeah. Well, now I realize that, but in the moment I was like, this could be fake.
Designer's picture can sometimes look staged. So I went online and quickly um, got like bombarded by a bunch of messages because I was like fresh meat to Match.com. And so I went to social media and somebody had messaged me saying that somebody by the name of Amanda was using my profile.
The imposter.
Or was using my pictures. Yeah, the imposter. So I took the profile down and then started going through the messages, and you were one of them. And to this day, we don't recall what you said because
I
we've both
think
gotten
it
rid of
was
the.
just like, hey, how's it going?
Yeah,
Kind of deal, right?
you didn't say, "Hey, hot stuff."
No, I didn't. That would have been too cheesy. I
Yeah,
don't think I would have worked on you.
no, it wouldn't have. So I only messaged two people out of many,
Okay.
and you were one of them. The first guy.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. The first guy messaged me about taking me on his private plane and like
Oh,
all the
wow.
houses. And I
Okay.
was like, this isn't,
That wasn't going to work for
now
you.
that you know me, was never going to work. So, um, okay, now from your perspective, what happened next?
So I was sitting in my Blue Mountain house and I got the response back and I was like, oh, wow, she responded. But I was still a little bit skeptical, not going to lie.
Why?
And just because of the one picture on your profile,
I
and
didn't have multiple,
that's right.
which
So
is
that's
the reason you
sometimes a
do
red flag.
multiple is really smart because when I was going through the profiles, some people had one good picture and then the rest didn't look like that picture at all,
That's right.
or
That can happen.
you could see like a little bit more about their personality. For example, if they're a hunter or a fisher or
That's right.
whatever. Okay, go ahead.
You can see them in their element,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So to speak. But yeah, no, just the one picture, you're always a little skeptical. Is this somebody real? And then I think we just went back and forth a few times, and then you said, "Do you want to FaceTime?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Okay, this is really weird."
Why is it
Well, because
weird?
it's just quick to the draw. Like you were like basically like, "Okay, let's do this."
But I had never been on a date
That's
before.
right. So I
The
understood
last date I
why.
was on was when I was 18.
Okay.
And so I didn't know how to date. And I didn't realize that was not like, to me, I just want to be efficient. I've
No,
got
no,
a
I
week
think
without my daughter.
in
That's it.
hindsight that was great
Yeah.
because we just like boom,
Yeah.
jumped to it. But so next thing you know, we're FaceTiming in my living room and I'm pacing around, FaceTiming this new girl. And I'm like, okay, she's real. And she's hot. And it's like, this is happening. And I still didn't know yet that you had a show on HGTV or any of that
That's
stuff.
right.
So then I think you mentioned that at
I
some point in the
said,
conversation.
at the end, I said, hey, I'm going into like an online yoga class. Um, do you consider yourself trustworthy? And you said, yeah, I mean,
My friends would
my
think
friends
so.
would say so.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, well, I'm going into an online yoga class. My name's not Amanda. It's Kortney Wilson.
Yeah.
Then you went to social media.
Once I figured out your name, I checked social media and boom, my mom and my sister are following
Following
you.
me. Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, this
Yeah.
is something's
So then
real.
we get on the phone later and I said, hey, you said I'm a little nervous.
Once I realized, yeah, you're following and
Yeah.
you were kind of a big deal. Um, yeah, I was definitely nervous. And at that point, I'm like, okay, well, now let's go for it. So I asked you on a date.
And I said, don't tell anybody. You can't tell anybody.
Boom, I called my mom.
Did you tell your mom
Oh,
right
yeah.
away? You
Well, I
liar.
was just like, Mom, I'm going on a date. You know her. She's kind of famous.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. I didn't know
Yeah,
this part of the story until now.
yeah.
So, uh, I was going to be off on the Friday afternoon or the Saturday afternoon. And I really wasn't supposed to be around anybody because I was COVID testing at a production, like I had a contract. But the executive, one of the producers knew, and she was like, okay, you're good to go. She actually is the one who pointed me in the direction of Match.com. So we were going to go. You had invited, okay, I want to actually hear your perspective on this. You invited me,
Yeah, it was COVID. I couldn't say, hey, let's go for drinks somewhere.
right?
So I said, hey, why don't you come by my place in Blue Mountain and I'll make you dinner.
Emma's in the background, like mortified that she would
It
never even
was
respond to that.
it was a long shot.
It was a long shot because you were like, I have a 4-bedroom house, no pressure.
No pressure,
I'll
but
cook for
I'm
you.
I'm a decent cook and I can make us dinner. We can watch a movie, whatever.
Yes. And I
You were pretty
said,
much a hard no.
yes, I
I'm
was a
not an
hard no.
idiot.
I said, you have really kind eyes, but I'm not a moron and I'm not going to your house.
Yep, that's exactly.
So you came I said, if you find yourself in Toronto tomorrow, we can go for a hike. And you said,
I will find myself in Toronto tomorrow.
that's exactly how it goes, folks. So Ryan shows up in a truck, comes to the door. Now, the mayor had opened up the restaurants for that day,
Just one
that
day.
weekend only to just test it,
Test the
outdoor
waters.
patios. So we shifted gears instead of going for a hike in the afternoon and went to an outdoor patio. It was Jack Astor's down Toronto, right?
Yep.
And or not downtown, but whatever,
It was
somewhere.
downtown-ish.
Okay. And when you got to the door, I went to leave with you and you said,
Do you think we can take your car? Mine's a construction truck and it's a mess.
which goes into the next question, which is, what did you do?
Oh, yeah, I was a construction supervisor for a residential builder.
Yeah. That your family owns.
Yeah, it was a family business. I worked with my cousins
Yeah.
and 18 years in that job. Never would have imagined that I would be switching that job.
Right.
Fast forward 6 or 8 months.
And now you show up to a girl's house for the first date and you want her to drive?
Yeah.
First of all, you had like good instincts because I still say today, if I had gotten in his truck, I don't know that we would have had a second date.
Yeah, now looking back for sure you would have been like,
It
no,
was a
this
disaster.
yeah, it was a construction truck. It had dust all over it,
Yeah.
tools everywhere.
Gross. Coffee cups everywhere, wrappers.
It was a
Yeah.
very efficient truck though. It was efficiently run.
Yeah, because it was a kitchen and a toilet.
I had
and all
everything
things
you
in
might
between.
need
Yeah.
on a construction site there.
So, okay, so we came back and it was quite early.
Yeah, I'd say like 4-ish, like
Yeah.
3 or 4 o'clock, and I was like, okay, so hey, what do you want to do? Should I hit the road? And you said, do you want to come in and do a puzzle? And I was like, a light bulb went off. I was like, oh my God, that might be code for something.
Except that I
I don't think it
actually
was code for something. It was
had a
like
puzzle.
legitimate. She had a puzzle set up on her kitchen table.
I had a puzzle and a bottle of wine, and so that's what we did. And I say that's a great thing to do.
Great first date
Great
starter.
first date starter. Like it gave us something to do. You I think would have been maybe a little awkward without something to do.
Yeah, I don't know. We would have sat on the couch the first time
Yeah.
we met. It would have been a little awkward
Yeah.
for sure.
This is where you completely gypped me. You tricked me.
Was it the neck rub?
Yes. You offered me a massage, which is the way to my heart. For sure. I don't care. If anybody offers me a massage, I will take it. And so I thought, oh my gosh, I scored. This is a guy who likes to massage, which, ladies and gentlemen, is just not true. He does not like to massage anybody.
Selective when I massage now.
Yes, yes. Your massage is like a pinch with one hand.
Not that bad.
Yeah, it is. So you gave me probably the best massage that I've ever gotten from you that night. And
Thank you.
do we go into the rest of the story?
That's your call, but we could say one thing led to another.
Okay. Well, that's your call now.
Fast forward to the morning.
Anyway, Ryan did stay the night that night. And the next morning I had the 2 pugs downstairs and I went out to let the dogs out and he went for a shower. And when I came back, now when Lennox and I moved into this little apartment, we actually were in a different house. And on the first night when we moved to Toronto, there was no heat going on in the house. And so production had moved us out of this really beautiful house and into a smaller and the only one that was available in Toronto, Airbnb. And so it only had one bathroom, which didn't bother us. We didn't care. We actually preferred a smaller house together. But when we got there was tape on the mechanism
For the
of the door
bathroom.
for the bathroom. So we just decided to not ever lock the bathroom door. You really couldn't because there was tape on it. Ryan was going to the bathroom at another girl's house. And so he decided to take the tape off and lock the door.
Hold on. So I went to the bathroom another time and the door won't shut. It just
That's
like
correct.
swings open every time.
Yeah.
So when I went the one time, the pugs kept coming in the bathroom
Yeah.
and it was embarrassing. I was
Yeah,
like,
of course.
I got to close this door. So
Yes.
in the morning when I went to the bathroom,
You just
I
pull
closed
out.
it. And I'm like, I can't afford for somebody to walk in here while I'm
Yeah,
doing my
doing your stuff.
business.
Yeah.
I was like, "Okay, to hell with the tape." I just turned the nozzle, and as I turned it, I heard clink. Like the whole lock fell to
To
in
the
the
bottom because it
wall.
was an old
It was
house.
an old house, and they obviously had tape on it for a reason. So my heart dropped. When I was like, I knew that was a big mistake. When I heard that clink to the floor, I was like, I don't think this thing's. So I just kept spinning it and spinning it and spinning it the other way. Nothing. And I tried to open it. Nothing.
So I came
Unlocked.
upstairs and he was like, "Hey, Court," because remember, we really don't know each other at this point very
Very
well.
fresh. Very
Yes, very
new.
fresh. So he said, "Can you help?" So I'm going to flash forward. We passed tools underneath back and forth, and that just was not happening. The mechanism was broken
Oh yeah.
and it was locked. And so there was one window, and you
Second floor.
on the second floor, tall and skinny house. And he said, "Can you go find a ladder?" And there was a ladder. And all I remember is you poking your head out and saying, "Are you really in construction? The ladder's on upside down."
I would have stepped on it and went "Tung, tung, 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 tung," like Christmas Vacation.
Yes. So we turned it around the other way, and it was still 4 feet shy from
The base of the
the
window.
base of the window. And you didn't have clothes
I had left my clothes somewhere else.
because he had gone for a shower. Oh my God, I'm never gonna live this
Yeah, this
down. I
was
hope my kids don't ever hear this.
next level embarrassing for me,
Yes.
but
So you put a towel down
put a towel
and
over the
yeah,
ledge because it was a brick ledge.
yes, and on you, which did not stay because you were trying to crawl out, and you came out
Straddled the
fast
ledge,
first,
lowered myself to the
lowered
ladder
yourself on the
to
to
the
like
brick ledge.
yeah on the brick ledge and went down and yes.
Made my way out.
Now the best part of the story has to be that now we go into the garage to find into the shed and we find
A
a
grinder.
grinder that is in the box. So these people
It's
knew,
almost like they had prepared for this.
anticipated, yeah. So you, being in construction, have to now get us into the
Yeah,
into
because
the
now the
bathroom.
door's locked.
Yeah.
We have to figure out a
So
way
we
in.
go into the bathroom. He is now fully clothed, unlock or trying to grind the lock, and I took a picture of you without you knowing, and literally there was fire, there was
Sparks
sparks
flying,
from
yeah.
the grinder, and I sent it to my friend. I think it was Marilyn Stella. Marilyn Stella's gonna have to confirm this, but I think it was her. And she said, "How was the date last night?" And I said, "It was great, still going, sparks are flying."
Perfect description, I would say.
Now, one of the questions is, was it love at first sight for you?
I would say yes. Maybe first date. I knew that night I was in love.
You did?
Yeah. Because you said to me, don't go and fall in love with me.
I did say
And
that.
I was like, it's already too late.
Yeah, I did
So
say
I knew
gave you a
within the
kiss
first
and I said,
night,
"Don't fall in love with me. That would be very dangerous for you." And you said,
it's too late. Yeah.
um, "That's really sweet." And what was your reaction the first time that you met me? That's what somebody else wants to know. And how did you feel about me lying about my name?
The name thing I totally understood why you might have done something like that. Um, and the first time I met you, what I thought, I was like, oh, she's not as tall as I thought she was on TV.
That's
Because I
interesting.
watched some of your clips and stuff, and
Yeah.
not that you were super short or anything, it was a problem, but I just like that was my first impression. I was like, oh, it's a beautiful girl, blue eyes, blonde, but just a little shorter than I thought on your Instagram
I
stuff.
had the same feeling.
Really? Oh,
Yeah. You walked right into
I
that
walked into
one.
that one.
On Match.com, you have to put a height. And for whatever reason, because again, I'm just like having fun here, I put 5'10" as the minimum. And I met you and I was like, he's not 5'10". He put 5'10" and a half. And you're 5'9" and a half.
I was not trying to scam the system. I swear to God.
Okay, so you met me and you thought it was over that night.
Yeah, after that morning had transpired, we left pretty good terms, but I felt like okay, maybe we'll see each other again, or hey, call me. That's kind of how we left things. It wasn't like, oh my God, we need to talk tonight, right?
Yeah, is that how dating usually goes?
Yeah, you never know after the first date where it might end up, right?
Okay.
So I went back to my Blue Mountain house and it was around lunchtime. I went and grabbed a bite and I was like, I'm gonna send a little message to kind of like test the waters and see where I'm at. And I think I sent you a picture of my meal that I was getting and you didn't respond for a little bit and I was like, oh yeah, I screwed it up with my little bathroom ordeal.
um, Now I don't remember why I didn't. Maybe I was just playing
Yeah, you could have
hard to
just been
get,
busy,
or
but
yeah.
in the end,
I
by
clearly
that
didn't have a
evening,
game because I asked you to do a puzzle with me, but
exactly.
yeah,
But by that evening, I believe you were sending me some pictures of the kids and like
yeah,
fishing and stuff that I
yeah,
liked. So it was I knew at that point we're like, okay, maybe this
yeah.
can go somewhere.
See, I don't remember all of that, but also my memory's not that great now. About that time of my life. So, okay, so we decided to see each other again a couple weeks later. So, a friend of mine, Nikki, who had a daughter Lenny's age, was like, "Hey, would you like to take me to take Lennox for the weekend?" So that, and then that's when I went up to Blue Mountain.
That's right.
Okay, now I want to be really clear. This was really fun. And that's all it was for me. So
Mm.
you were starting to fall in love, but I had 3 kids at home and I was not thinking.
Oh, absolutely. And you made that clear.
I made it clear.
Yeah, you were like, this can't go anywhere. I'm just
Yeah.
having fun. And I was like, let's see where it goes. Like,
And you kept saying, let's see where it goes. And at some point during the very beginning of that, while I was in Toronto, my life got way more complicated back here in Nashville. So
I do remember
it
some
was
of
the
that
big,
stuff.
yeah. So it was the beginning of like a very long, awful uh, journey, we'll call it, um, to deal with some custody stuff and some parenting things and, post divorce stuff. And I thought, and I tried to break up with you.
Yes,
You remember
I
that?
do remember that. And I think again, I was like, okay, but you never know. Like, we could just still play it by ear. I didn't put any pressure on you.
Yeah, you really
I
didn't.
was very accepting of that.
Yeah.
And I think there was next was coming up where you had to come back
So I had
to
decided,
do
I
some
told
filming.
production that I had to go back and get Lennox and my other kids through their exams. So I was coming back the end of May to get them to study, get them all, back on track for their exams, and then I was going to go back to Toronto, but it still meant that I had to quarantine for 2 weeks.
Okay.
So I had asked production if they could get permission for me. No. You asked me to quarantine with you, and
That's what it was. That's what I
I
was,
initially
yeah.
said hell no, because I didn't want to get any closer than we already were. It was just going to be fun.
Yep.
So now I say this a little bit because I want people to know that though I wasn't scared of putting myself out there, I also was realistic
Yeah, like
about,
how's that ever gonna
yeah,
work?
my heart had already been broken once. I
Nashville,
didn't,
Toronto, just the everything about
yeah,
it, right?
logistically. So you said, how do you remember that part of like how I
I
ended
think
up?
I was just like the offers out there if you want to stay with me. There's no pressure. There's nothing that no obligations for you afterwards. We can
Yeah.
just hang out for a couple weeks and
Yeah.
have some fun. You have a great place to stay. I'll cook you dinners.
Yeah, you did. It
Um,
was a good pitch.
and I think, yeah, like I think that was the big turning point for us, like that stay.
Yeah.
When you say,
Well, for sure it was. So I reluctantly agreed. And because you had said, listen, if it's anything more, we'll know at the end of this. And
that's
if it's
right.
nothing, we've had a good time and you're not lonely for 2 weeks, which
Yep.
I will say the quarantine for 2 weeks is very lonely when
Hmm.
you're by yourself. So, um, yeah, close to the end of that. And it was a bit of an interesting quarantine because you were working with your family who was also trying to protect their crews. I was at home with nobody. I was still having to COVID test every day. I was also fully vaxxed at the time, but it was just an awkward because you were
Really
going to
tough,
work
weird
and
time. Yeah, for sure.
yeah. So when we got to the end of the 2 weeks, I was like, holy shit, I'm falling in love.
Was it my cooking?
It was for sure your cooking. It was a lot of things. Cooking is at the top of the list. Um, Company, you were completely different than who I had been with before.
I
Um,
think I was a little more laid back and free flowing.
Way low, but way more laid back. You can
I was
find the
like, I got her for
joy.
2 weeks.
You what?
I was like, I got her for 2 weeks.
So we started making a plan. So I went back to film for 2 weeks in Toronto, and you drove in 2.5 hours
I think you were staying in
every single
Mississauga, was
day.
it?
Yeah. So every
And I
day
would
you
come
would
stay with you
drive
each night.
every night. Yeah. And then I went home, and that's when I told the kids within 15 minutes of being home. We all sat together, and I said, I've met somebody because I didn't want anybody else to break it to them. And
It's
I
fair.
knew at this point a handful of people knew.
Yep.
And they were great. Initially, they were awesome. Do you remember the first time you met the kids? That is one of the questions.
Yes, I actually remember it quite vividly. So I landed in Nashville, I
Okay,
believe,
it's actually before then.
at the lake house.
So I told the kids that you were going to be coming in a couple of weeks while they were hanging with their dad because it was summer break at this point. So then they got to go back to their dads for 2 weeks. You were going to come for those 2 weeks. So I said, it is completely up to you guys whether or not you want to meet him or not. You're in control
Mm-hmm.
because you're not even with me during those 2 weeks. And they all simultaneously were like, we want to meet him. But I had made the vegetarian, of course, me, made ribs for them one night. And we were sitting around the kitchen table, the three of us, four of
Oh, it
us.
was a FaceTime?
Yes. And I
Okay,
said,
I
do you
remember
guys
that.
want to FaceTime Ryan? Because I didn't want it to be a big,
Breaks the ice.
it breaks the ice.
Yeah,
So they said, yeah.
I
And,
remember that.
but they were eating ribs. So the boys didn't have shirts on. Do you remember
Yes.
that? And
I was like, these guys, I'm gonna fit in with these guys.
so I FaceTimed you and I caught you off guard and you were
Did I have
watching
my shirt
TV
off?
and you had your shirt off. And I said, hey, baby, would you like to meet? I didn't say baby. I said, hey, Ryan, would you like to
It's
meet my kids?
yeah.
And you said, oh my God, Court, I don't have a shirt on. And I flipped the camera around and the boys went, neither do
I wouldn't
we.
be surprised as if we went like this.
Yes, exactly. It was a really sweet moment that's kind of
Yeah,
etched
yeah.
in
I
my,
remember that.
yeah,
That was sweet.
because a lot of people don't have a great experience.
Oh, absolutely. I was super nervous for that meeting.
Yeah. And then you met at the airport
Met Lenny at the airport. She had a sign. How sweet, right? She had a sign, "Welcome, Ryan." Yeah, it was. I
It was the
remember that moment
sweetest.
so
Yeah.
vividly. And then we ended up at the lake house.
Well, yeah, in an interesting turn of events, though they were on their dad's time, they came to the lake house. They ended up, we were supposed to go away to the lake house, just us,
Yep.
with some friends. And we were not planning on having the kids. So I was a little bit nervous, but they ended up with me. Um, and I was nervous because we were all going to be staying under one
You were
roof.
nervous.
Yeah, I know, I know, I
I
know.
was so nervous.
How are you feeling?
Well, I was just like, I don't know how this is gonna go. Are they gonna accept me? Is this gonna be awkward?
Yeah,
Are they gonna hate me? All those things, right? But the next thing you knew, I was at the lake house. We're hitting golf balls into the lake,
with the
and I just
boys.
knew right away. I was like, okay, this is gonna be okay.
Yeah.
They were so friendly and welcoming, almost like I was one of their pals.
Yeah, it was, and I think that's that was the key to your successful bonding with each of the kids in a different way.
Absolutely.
Stronger with some kids than
Yeah.
others, just based on like Jet's older, so
Hmm.
he has been with us, less
So
time,
yeah,
at least amount of time. Jet and Sully and Lennox at one point were living with us full time
yeah. I would say we lived under the same roof with
for a
Sully
couple of
and Lennox
years.
the most of it all. Yeah.
Yeah, and Lennox, since you met her, she's lived with us
Yep.
full time. Um, so your bond is just slightly different.
For
It's more
sure.
of a father figure with Lennox
Yep.
and maybe even Sully a little bit,
Yep.
and more friendly with Jet.
Yep. I'd agree.
This is a question from Annette on Instagram. How hard is it to adjust to becoming a step parent to grown children? She
That's a
also wants
really
to
good
know,
question.
I gotta read the whole thing. And have you ever had to encounter Courtney's ex-husband and how did you handle that?
I once was in a relationship where it was a pretty serious relationship and she had a daughter. So I had a little bit of a role in that relationship as a stepfather. I helped her with coaching her hockey team. So it wasn't completely foreign to me.
Yeah.
But
But you don't have your own kids.
never had my own kids,
Never been
not even
married.
close. Never been married. So this was all new to me for sure, for the most part. Um, but yeah, so sorry, repeat that question again.
How hard has it been to adjust? It
It
really
hasn't been
hasn't
that
been.
hard. No, it's been an easy transition, to be honest. And there's been some challenges along the way for sure. Um,
But not the traditional
Not the
challenges.
traditional challenges, more of just like adapting to teenagers and
Yeah.
their moods,
Yeah, yeah.
stuff like that. I'm
Yeah.
just like, why is he or she being
So
giving me
moody.
attitude right now? And I'm
Yeah.
that's just how kids are. So I didn't know that coming in, right?
Yeah, but you're not really forceful in how you have
For
parented
sure.
them.
Yeah,
I think with Lennox a little bit more because I mean at one way, like for example, earlier this year, you Lennox stayed back with you in Nashville while I went to film for 2 months
yeah.
in
Several
Canada.
times I've
Yeah,
watched
so
film with
you
Lennox.
have been the primary parent.
Yep.
Yeah. You go to the father-daughter dances, you
Yep.
do all the things.
Yep.
Yeah, and you've done it so willingly and so
Yeah. It's been
it's a
great.
really beautiful
Rewarding for
relationship.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel for people that don't have that
Yeah.
actually.
I feel like if I had missed out completely on kids, it would have been something like a void,
Yeah?
I'd say.
It says, have you ever had to encounter Dave and how did you handle that from Annette?
So the first time I met Dave was over a family matter, and he came up, shook my hand, gave me a hug. It felt a little bit awkward slash weird, but it was short lived, and then that was it for quite some time.
Yeah. And then there was a face to face at some
There
point,
was a face to face,
um, meeting with the three of
but
us. But
never
that,
hostile, never, yeah, nothing
yeah,
too bad
just
to
super
talk
weird.
of. Super weird
Yeah.
each time.
Super weird, not because super weird, like in the traditional sense, it's weird. Just
Weird circumstances.
a weird
Right?
circumstance. Yeah. And there really haven't been very many times once.
Count on one hand.
Yeah.
How
On
many
one
times
hand, how many times you guys have been to,
in the same space.
yeah.
Yep.
Is it hard? There is a question here. Is it hard for you to hear her ex-husband's name or deal with him?
I would say yes and no. It's come up a lot, obviously, with the two you guys having the show and in the limelight. It's come up
Because
a
people
lot.
don't know,
Yeah,
right?
people
They
don't
come up
know
and
it.
meet me and they say, "Oh my God, I used to watch you and Dave,"
Yeah,
and Ryan's standing there.
yeah, for sure. And it doesn't really bother me, but there's been times when I'm just like, okay, would love to just turn the page.
Yeah. And we have turned the page, y'all. I think it's important to note that like we're talking about real things because this
Yeah,
is,
yeah.
this podcast is talking about the hard things in life, and it hasn't all been lollipops
Peachy.
and peaches and rainbows for us. We've for sure the first couple of years. Well, one of the questions, where is it? When did you move to Nashville? And do you remember why you ended up staying?
Yeah. There was some trauma, something that had gone down
Yeah,
on
in the
your end.
courtroom. Yeah.
Yes. And I was like, I'm not going back home.
Yes,
So I
you
stayed.
didn't feel I was safe.
That's right.
Yeah.
So I couldn't just jump ship and then hope for the best. I had to stay. So I
Hmm.
changed my plans and I basically didn't leave since then, I don't think.
No, I mean you went back obviously like
Back and forth to settle my affairs and
yeah, to
whatnot.
settle your affairs, but I think you listed your house shortly after, applied for a visa and bought a business.
Yep.
Which leads everybody to the most asked question.
Really?
Oh my gosh, Ryan. Every time I put up a question box on Instagram, it's inevitable that somebody asks, "What does Ryan do?" You
Wow.
are the mystery man.
Okay, wow. I didn't think it
Yeah.
was that big of a thing,
So
but
without saying necessarily the name of the country,
yeah.
the company, if you want to remain more
Um,
private, what do you do?
so okay, I'll go back to how I got this business. I was just basically within the first couple of weeks that we met, looking for an avenue to get here, and I knew the only way was to buy a business.
Because when you had talked to immigration, they said, honestly, it's easiest if you just marry her. And I said,
There's no way, There's no hope in hell we're getting married to give you a visa.
I was like,
And I
listen,
agreed with
I
that.
am a romantic. This is not happening. Um, I don't know what this is yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we did it the right way, I think.
Yeah, I agree, babe.
And bought a business. Flashback, I was looking for business for sale in Nashville, And there was several businesses for sale,
Yeah.
and a cleaning business popped up. And I was like, wow, that looks interesting.
Yeah.
Um,
That wasn't a gazillion
yeah,
dollars.
it was the price was right. It seemed like something sort of in my line of duty of being in construction, managing people, managing trades.
But at the time, you were really just looking for a business to buy,
That's right.
to stay here, to run it, of course, legally, but explore what this could be.
That's right.
Yeah. So you bought a cleaning business and you have turned it, it's gangbusters now.
Yeah, it's been
Yeah,
really amazing.
you clean all the short-term rentals in Nashville, not all, but like a ton of them.
Yeah, we got quite a bit on our
Yeah.
portfolio.
Yeah, you have like a linen
And I also run a
company.
manage linens for other cleaning companies.
Yeah. Can I convince you to buy the Court and Co linens?
Maybe so. I think they're a little bit too pricey for our.
So you have a cleaning business. You don't actually clean unless there's an
No, I
emergency.
manage the business. I manage 13 different cleaning crews,
Yeah.
and we service over 100 units here in Nashville. Yeah, it's been great. It's honestly been a great transition from construction management right into the cleaning management.
Yeah. And I'm super proud of you, by the
Oh,
way.
thank you.
I probably
I
don't tell
appreciate that.
you enough, but when I tell the story and I think about how far we've come, this is a huge part of you just taking the bull by the horns and looking into a business because you certainly did not have my help. Because this may sound really harsh, but one of the things that I said early on was, I don't want to take care of another human
You
being.
were pretty adamant about
Yeah.
not helping me through that
That
process.
not helping
Not in a
sounds
mean way.
really,
No, I think it was the right way. I think it was like if
yeah,
he's going to figure this out. I'm not going to enable and
yeah,
spoon feed him through this.
that's right. Because I had already kind of been in a situation where
Do
I
something
was
like
the
that.
glue and do that, and I didn't want to do it again. I wanted somebody who was independent and had their own thing. And I wasn't interested in finding, even though you were in construction, I had zero interest in
Somebody in construction.
you being on TV.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
thankfully,
that was
because
never even a thing.
what is the one thing? So, Angie from IG, Angie from Instagram wants to know, what's the one thing you love most about me?
Okay, so physically, I would say your blue eyes.
You've
They're
always
like
said my blue
magnets,
eyes.
yeah, right from the get-go, right when I met you. And then I would say your tenacity.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, tenacious, I would say you're, and fierce. Those couple
Fierce.
things. Fierce in a good way.
Aw,
Yeah.
right. That's really sweet. Um, I joke, and sometimes it sounds like I'm being mean when I say it, but it's the nicest compliment. I always say Ryan has no game. And really, what I'm saying, I know we always laugh because some people will be like, that's not very nice. What I really mean is Ryan is authentic. He doesn't put on a show.
Try not to.
You're just who you are. Like who you are here talking to me is who you are with everybody. There's no, you know,
Hidden
horse
agenda.
and pony or
Yeah.
pony or what's the thing that you say? Whatever.
It's
Can't remember. I'm not very good at those. But there's like, no, you're not a show pony.
no.
Even for me, I with my business have to sometimes put it on. I try to be authentic, but sometimes I have to put it on.
Hmm.
And you were with me during those times where I was in a really, really dark place.
Yeah. I wish I had that in me to just push through. If I'm upset or something's aggravating me, you'll know.
And yet it's one of the most endearing qualities I think that you have. So
Thank you.
yeah.
Appreciate that.
I also think that it's worth noting that you had another career before you were in construction. So can you tell people that?
Okay, fine. I'll brag on myself a little bit. So I guess when I was 13 or 14, I started racing go-karts. And when I got good at it quick. And at 16, I became a professional race car driver.
So awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Pretty
Yes.
cool ride.
And ironic because you can't drive a regular car worth shit.
Yeah, this is a point of contention for us for sure. Amy thinks she's a race car driver.
I do. I think that you are a good race car driver, but in a regular car, we're like a walking
It's debatable.
TikTok.
It's
Yes, it's
debatable.
debatable. Um, did you like that? Do you miss it?
I miss parts of it. It was I was in an age when I was missing out on all my friend stuff, like going to a cottage for the weekend.
Yeah.
I was in a hotel by myself, basically waiting to go racing the next morning.
Do you feel like you're pushed into that?
A little bit, like my dad was super passionate about it. I was somewhat passionate, but definitely not to the level I needed to be.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah,
So what was the moment that you decided, okay, this isn't for me anymore?
I think when I hit the wall at the Vancouver Molson Indy twice in one weekend.
No
Yeah, it was a
way.
new track, and I was kind of pushing a little too hard. Um, Hit the wall once, they rebuilt the car, and then hit the wall again, and then I was like, I can't do this
Like they
anymore. Like,
rebuilt the car in the same weekend?
yeah, it was qualifying. I hit the wall, and then they rebuilt the car for the race, and I hit the wall again, and I was just like, I can't do this anymore to my father. It was huge. I didn't have full sponsorship, so he was funding a lot of it. That was the point when I was just, and then I started my 18-year career in construction right after that. So it was kind of an
So you went
easier.
to college for a short time.
Went to college for a
Yeah.
short time, took civil engineering for a year, and took business marketing for a year.
Which clearly helped you down the road because now you're running a business.
Yep.
Okay, so what from Sandy on IG wants to know, where do you think you would be in life right now if you guys had never met?
That's another really good question. So I'm probably still living in my Blue Mountain home, facing the mountains with
It was the
with
ultimate bachelor pad.
with my beautiful sauna in the backyard and my hot tub. No, I was kidding.
Oh my gosh, you're dreaming.
I'd probably still be dating. No, I don't know. Who knows? I can't really say. I'd for sure be still in construction with the family business.
It's crazy because you were not never married, no kids, no pets,
That's right.
living in Canada. Now you're living in Nashville. You have a green card
Yep.
now. You have 3 stepchildren, 2 dogs, 2 cats, and 3 chickens.
Things change dramatically.
Things changed dramatically. So where do you think you would be in life right now? Oh my gosh, you'd be
Definitely
chilling
not.
out,
Yeah, I'd be chilling
watching the
out,
sunset, drinking a
watching the
beer.
highlights from football on the weekend.
Exactly. Ryan's a huge football fan, so much so that
Sucked you into it.
yeah, you've sucked me into it. And now I'm a football fan. So, and I kind of like it. So I like that you're very, it's kind of sexy to me that you're all into sports.
Oh, thank you.
Well, it is what it is, but like I dig it. I also love that my boys, especially,
Yeah, we bond over that for
bond
sure.
over that. They love football, they love hockey, they love all sports, they even love betting. So, like, it's really,
Commonality we have.
yeah. I mean, you guys are in
Oh, fantasy
a
football league.
fantasy
Yeah.
football league together, and it's just really sweet. Okay, feelings on being in the spotlight from Jenny on IG.
Hmm. I honestly it doesn't phase me all that much, which is surprising for somebody like me, right? As an introvert or more of a
Yeah,
but I've kind of just stepped into it and I don't really think about it too much because when I do, I get nervous.
yeah. I'm really proud of you for doing this today because this is really outside of your comfort zone.
Yes,
Yeah,
this is not my norm.
yeah. But our wedding was featured in People magazine.
Yeah, again, I didn't think about it along the way. I knew there was cameras around and pictures being taken, but
Yes.
I just figured it was just like another wedding.
And it's actually funny because Hello Canada was doing a magazine spread. Do you remember this?
Yes.
And I
That was
don't
early
remember.
on.
That was
Pretty
early
early on.
on. We already knew we had something,
Yep.
but they came to the house to do a shoot, and you were there in the background.
Yep.
And the photographer was like, "Can
Didn't
we get some shots of you and Ryan?" And I remember thinking, "Oh man, here we go."
Yeah, that was
And
the beginning
so
of
I,
it.
yeah, it was pretty epic,
Yeah,
and that we ended up with like
some great shots.
a 4-page spread.
Yeah, see, again, unknowingly, it helped me not be so nervous.
Yeah,
'Cause I
because it
didn't really
wasn't
know what it
planned.
was. Yeah, I was just
Yeah.
like, oh, we'll just go with it.
Yes. And then, okay, yeah, when did we move in together? Got that. Oh, this is a question I don't know if you're going to want to answer, but damn.
Shoot.
Okay. How do you feel about Court's parents? What would you like to say to them? This is from Kim on Instagram.
Oh, yeah,
Oh, man.
that'll hit a spot.
Okay, I guess you need context.
Okay.
We would need to give context. Do you want to give it?
Just I think for those that don't know, Courtney's parents aren't
In my
in
life?
hers or our life, or yeah. So that definitely has been challenging.
As in you have never met my
Never met
parents
your parents,
or
never
my
spoke to
siblings.
them. There was a short FaceTime chat with one of your sisters
Yep. When we were dating.
when we were dating early on, and it was just very brief,
Very
but it was,
sweet.
yeah, super sweet and
Yeah, they're nice people.
peaceful. Yeah, it was. She seemed welcoming to me, but then since then it's been crickets would be an overstatement or understatement.
I don't want to make it sound like it's crickets from them.
No, just that I've just had no
We just
communication
don't
with
have any.
anybody. Yeah, there's
Yeah,
just
yeah,
no relationship, no communication.
yeah.
What would I say? I would just say
Actually, the first time you indirectly had any interaction with my family was the day that I introduced you to the world, in a picture at the lake house.
yes, but not
So
really interaction
you didn't
with me.
interact with them,
But
but
there
they
was
interacted with
some
me,
comments basically,
and
yeah,
and I was
discouraging,
very, very upset that night.
shaming you, yeah. Um, yeah, what would I say? I would just say, man, I think we're all missing out on some stuff. We're all missing out on some
Yeah,
life and some memories and some
yeah,
joy. That's what I would say, I think, right? We're all missing out, but
yeah.
I think
But under the
yeah,
circumstances,
it's either too late or too deep.
yeah,
Would you agree? Too much damage done, but you
yeah,
never know.
yeah, exactly. I think it's very complicated. A world that, out of respect for us, out of respect for them, that we don't really enter into on the podcast, except to say that it's really complicated,
Yeah,
and that they have a very good relationship with my ex. Um, and yeah, it's
that one hurts the
yeah.
most, but
But you know all the rest of them. So like my parents, sisters and brothers, you've met.
yeah, I have a great relationship with
Yeah,
Uncle Rick and your
yeah.
cousins Josh,
A lot of them
Alicia,
were at our
Noah.
wedding. You've met my dad's brother.
Yeah.
You've
Everybody's
like
been so welcoming.
so
So it's been
welcoming
nice
to
to
you.
have that
Yeah.
part for sure.
No, I know. It's a sad situation because, like, sometimes I think an outsider looking in would be like, oh my gosh, this is really screwed up. And you guys just put all your differences aside. But, that's not,
Every family has their stuff,
yeah,
so
every family has their stuff. And that's just not, that's not possible in this particular case. But I feel for you. And that's been really hard for me to navigate because I say all the time, you would be good friends with my brother.
hmm
You're, you have a lot of the same.
commonalities.
Yeah. That's sad. Another life, maybe.
Yeah, maybe in another life.
Yeah. Do you have some things you want to talk about?
That's a good question. I hadn't thought of that. I wasn't prepared for that question. I guess just I feel like I'm sometimes living in a dream.
Really?
Yeah, just like with all the different things we do and all the traveling, and it's almost like I'm living in a dream. Yeah, and you have to sometimes pinch myself to realize that it's all real.
I think that means a lot just because I know we're not even touching the surface on everything that we've been
Yeah,
through.
yeah. There's
Yeah.
some other stuff that happens,
Are
but
you crying too? um Ryan and I have been through a lot. Um a lot. And he's real strong. And the first couple of years especially were really incredibly tough. Things that were just unimaginable were that we were
oh yeah,
faced with. I
yeah.
don't I don't think I think that I have not really talked about
No,
everything.
there could be a movie or a book written about all this stuff, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Um and you've been by my side through all of it. You've understood the complexities of all the relationships. You've been there for my kids in just incredible ways. I'm so grateful. You've been there for me, and it hasn't always been easy. Uh, I also went through some PTSD. Um, I went through a moment where I wasn't sure what was next for me or if I wanted anything to be next for me.
yeah. Been some tough times.
Yeah. And all the whole time you've just been there. And so hearing you say that it's like a dream, I know that you have to be acknowledging the good and the bad.
Yeah, for sure. I try to more focus on the good times we've had and not think so much about the rougher times, but yeah,
Yeah. Good times ahead.
for sure.
Okay, do you mind if I give you a few more fun questions?
Sure.
Okay, what's one American thing you've adopted since moving here?
Y'all. And I will use it more than I have to.
You do. You use it in awkward
Yes.
situations.
Almost poking fun at
Yeah,
y'all,
but
I
you
do love
like
it.
using it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's a
When you
great
go
term.
home, do people make fun of you for using it?
I use it and then they're like calling me out on it for sure.
Yeah, like it feels awkward for them.
Yeah, they wouldn't use that word or
Yeah.
hear it. And they're like, oh, all of a sudden you're from the South now?
Yeah.
Like, yep, I am.
Yeah, we even did this summer. We were with Lenny's bio family. Oh my goodness. Talk about like throwing my husband into crazy situations. He has also become very good friends with Lennox's biological siblings' parents. So they're adoptive
Adoptive
parents.
parents, yeah.
Like we vacation together.
Yep.
We're going skiing
Several
together this
times.
year. We went to a lake house this summer. They've been to our house. We've been to theirs. We spent Thanksgiving together. Like how crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
You would never have imagined
Nah.
having those types of experiences.
No, definitely not.
What do you think about that?
I think it's amazing. I like in the beginning I was like, oh, this is interesting or not weird in a bad way, but I was just like, how is this all working and how do they like when Lennox really miss her siblings and
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. But no, it's been amazing and so rewarding and seeing Lennox light up when she sees them and
Yeah. And when we go, we play euchre
oh yeah.
with the other adoptive family. And man, it's the guys against the girls. And does it get very
Yeah, the
competitive?
guys prevail most
Okay, we can
times.
stop now. I'm going to move on to the next question. Okay. The other American thing I think you've adopted is not taking your shoes off.
Yeah, that I love that.
Yeah.
So that's
It like
something I
meaning when your Canadians take their shoes off at the front door.
oh yeah, it's automatic.
Way cleaner.
It's way cleaner. I'm noticing that sometimes the floors are really bad here
Yeah.
because of that. But if you have your shoes on all the time,
Doesn't matter.
it doesn't really matter.
That's
And I
right.
just love wearing shoes indoors now.
Yeah. Okay. What's a Canadian thing you refuse to give up?
Hmm. It's a tie between saying A, because it's just entrenched in me, and my Caesars.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew it.
Yeah, Caesars would be number one if I had to choose one, but saying A, it's
Okay,
just
so
like,
explain to the people that are not Canadian what a Caesar is.
so Caesar, it would be like the Canadian version of a Bloody Mary.
Yeah, but it's not a
But
Bloody
instead
Mary.
of using tomato juice, you're using Mott's Clamato,
Okay.
and it's way better.
Well, guess the verdict's
Just
out on
saying.
that one.
Just saying.
But yes, you do like your Caesars. And now every time that we're at the lake or even we have people to our house here, everyone has to try Caesar.
Yes.
Okay, if you had to describe me in 3 words, what would they be?
Badass woman. Badass woman. You can take that how you will, but
Okay, I will. The words go together. What's the biggest culture clash we've had, America or American versus Canadian?
like us as a couple,
That's what it says.
that's an interesting good question, but the problem is that you are
Are also
Canadian
Canadian.
and you would live there for 18 years and I see you as Canadian more than American. That's just
Do
how I
you?
see you, yeah.
Yeah.
But obviously different having been here so long and some of your lingo and terminology is
Yeah.
you say y'all a lot.
Yeah. I'm a dual citizen.
Yes.
I've been in America 28 years. Grew up in Canada for 18 years. I also identify as being Canadian.
Yeah,
So that's really interesting.
I don't see a huge clash there in our
Yeah.
cultures.
Yeah, I identify as Nashville being home,
Yeah.
but I identify as being Canadian. So we don't really have a culture clash. What is one of the biggest things that have been hard in America to get over?
Okay, so automatically I go to getting used to people having guns.
Oh my gosh, for
Yeah, and
sure.
we don't need to get into that whole
Yeah,
thing,
yeah.
but the fact that I'll be talking to somebody through work and they'll just say, "Yeah, I've got a gun in my purse or
Yeah.
in my glove box."
Yeah.
Like, "Oh, okay." Yeah.
Okay. And finally, the last question: if our love story was a movie, what would the title be?
Hmm. Oh man.
Picking up the puzzle pieces.
Yeah. Oh, I thought it had to be like a movie, like the
No,
of a movie. Oh,
no.
that's perfect. Picking
Yeah,
up the puzzle pieces because
yeah.
that has so many meanings.
So many meanings. The beginning, the middle, the end, all of it. You actually just surprised me for our anniversary with a tattoo.
Yep.
Um,
A puzzle piece.
yeah, for those of you who can see right now and not just hear.
Show it to the
Yeah, you
camera.
want to show? There it is. It's a puzzle piece and it has our wedding date on it.
Yep.
Right. I freaking adore you.
Aw, I love you too,
And I'm
man.
so glad you entered my life, our lives. Um, I don't know where I would be without you. I know I'm an independent woman, and what did you call me? Badass woman. Um, I love that you've embraced that. I love that you love me, all the good and all the bad and everything in between. And I'm really excited to grow with you on this
Same.
second journey through love.
Aw, love you, babe.
Thanks for being on my Shit Stick of Life podcast.
My pleasure.
Okay, kiss. Thank you so much for listening. You can find all the details and links from this episode in the show notes. And just please don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a review wherever you listen to podcasts. Until next time, I'm Kortney Wilson, and this is the Shit Stick of Life.